Hi, my name is Rafaël Rozendaal, and I'm talking to a computer, and I'm recording this, and you are listening to that recording, and you're watching as well. I hope it's interesting. You seem to still be watching, so it must be kind of interesting. And what I wanted to do today is look at JODI's work, because JODI has an exhibition at MAMA in Rotterdam, and the curator, Gerben, asked me to have a look at their work and think of a way of representing their work online because they do so much and so much of their work is everywhere. Um, but it's also kind of hard to find. It's scattered everywhere and it's little pieces of software and there's no clear point, there's no clear center point. So he wanted me to have a look. Um, so what I did, I'm working on an iMac. And the reason I want to get a little technical is because a lot of people are always concerned about software becoming obsolete and then digital works becoming obsolete. And I wonder if that's the case in the case of JODI. And they always made it hard to find their stuff. So to get a little technical, I'm on a 2.8 gigahertz iMac with 4 gigs of RAM, 10.6 operating software, and I'm on the latest version of Chrome. And I've put the screen resolution a little lower. It's not the native resolution, so it records, so it's not too hard to record then. This is 720, so that's like small HD. I just think that all these kind of details will be very funny in 50 years when we have computers connected to our brain and we don't even know what pixels are anymore. That's what this video is for. Just one day we can look back at it and see how clumsy everything was. So I'm going to just start with Google. Let's see what JODI. I've signed out of Google, so hopefully it doesn't give me any preferred treatment. So they are quite high. I was worried that maybe Jodie Foster would be the first result. To me, Jodie is an interesting case because most online artists have a homepage. Sorry. I'm not going to edit this, so you'll have some coughing and whatever. Most artists start with a homepage with a resume and information, maybe a picture of the artist and a list of works organized by category. And JODI never did that. They always said the web is a medium for art, it's not a medium for documentation, and that's where it's going to happen. So they did not make a homepage, so Wikipedia did. Maybe you did it. The users of Wikipedia made a page for them, and it kind of explains who they are and what they do. It's a collective of 2 people. And here's a list of works. So I know that they have a homepage that's an archive. They showed it to me once, and I can't seem to find it. It had a name, because if you just go to jodi.org, it just shows you a random work. Every time you go to, so I'm typing the domain name jodi.org. It's another work. So yeah, let's just see which works of theirs are still online. I really think that online works are fine and they archive quite well because the whole internet is an archive. So I never understood this concern for works becoming obsolete. You see, it seems to be fine. I think this is that famous work where you check the source code and you see a bomb. I was thinking I should not have any opinion on their work in this video. I'll just let you form an opinion. So I'm not going to say this is awesome or this is terrible and I prefer this or that. I just want to see what's out there. That's just what this video is for, just to see what's out there. I always think Google image search is the best. So we can kind of, yeah. Software is fragile, supposedly. but it seems pretty robust. Or they have a robust way of working with software, or they make it so so buggy that when it starts bugging, you don't even notice. Like maybe this little piece of text should have been here back in the day, and this little piece of text was aligned here, but it's not doing that right now. But it's fine because we don't know what's the proper way. There is no proper way. This work must be at least 10 years old. I remember looking at it when I was in art school. And it seems to work just fine. It's refreshing. They've refrained from using plugins a lot, I think. So that also helps with the preservation of the work. We see some video game characters jumping and running. And there's a lot of red and black. It's a bit like it's zooming out now, and the video characters are still running and jumping. Now we're zooming back in. This is 100 cc. Okay. JODI's personal map of the web. A lot of these works I've never seen. This one I remember is old. Crashpages.com. So this is JODI's map of the interwebs in green and black. I'm always interested what is the native visual language of the computer. What is the easiest way for a computer to show you something? And I never thought HD video is kind of, and video games is kind of very heavy for the computer, so what's very light? And if it's light for the computer, is that the language the computer feels most natural in, like your mother tongue? A computer thinks in electric signals and then translates that on the screen for us. And maybe that's what JODI was trying here. Okay, so this is JODI's map of the web. It still works. So far, so good. It might get tricky with pop-ups. This website, oss.jodi.org, famous for containing malicious code, says Wikipedia. Let's see if my computer crashes. If it does, this video will probably never go anywhere, and then you won't be able to see this video. Pop-up blocked. Always allow pop-ups. Refresh. Okay, there's a few pop-ups. And they're moving around. So it still works. This must have been made 10 years ago when people still use pop-up windows. So I think the script here is every time you close a pop-up window, a new one opens. So there's no way to close this one. Okay, there's one left. Another gone. Well, that was not that bad. The malicious code.
Ho 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 ho! Merry Christmas! Happy holidays! This is the Trappy Santa here with another wonderful Christmas song for all of you.
If a packet hits a pocket on a socket on a port, and the bus is interrupted as a very last resort, and the axis of the memory makes your floppy disk abort, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report.
I'm happy although my bot.
Okay, so they offer no explanation. You just surf. So that's what we're doing. This website, YTRTYUIOP, I actually own this domain. We traded a work. It was interesting. I traded my first website I ever made for this one. And I think the YT stand for YouTube. And the rest is just when you look at your keyboard, RTYUIOP, on the first row of letters on your keyboard. And so it's classic JODI stuff, just things moving very fast and distorting things that are familiar to you on the computer. We store information so that you will not have it too. %20, which is the spacebar character in HTML. Re-enter underscore it.html. The funny thing is, I know very little about code, but we can see here, there's a scroll. Okay. I hope this will be a quite boring video. Let's see how it goes. Geek concept. So all these websites seem to work. Now it's crashing. Flash is not responding. Okay, so the website is refreshing to different URLs. It's interesting because I thought, let's browse the of JODI and see if we run into surprises, and we do. I've never seen this work. No. You're talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? You're talking to me? Okay, so this is a poem of domain names. It keeps refreshing to different domain names. And it's a dialogue. So it seems. I don't know if it's taken from the movie Taxi Driver. I think it is. So that was g33con.com. Excuse me. Wrong browser. Absurd artistic interpretation of a browser. Okay, this is an application that you can download. Here it could get tricky because you never know, maybe the operating system changed. Let's see if it works. So I unzip the file. There's a file here called COM. It's an application, Intel based, made by Adobe Systems. Maybe it's Director or Flash. Probably one of those. And the icon is a black square, like the Malevich painting. COM is an application downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? So I think this is where it's kind of a lot of people will get turned off. They're like, no, I don't want to risk the safety of my computer for the sake of art. But we're going to open it. Who knows if the screen recorder will still work. We have the spinning ball of death. Not sure if this is part of the piece. I think we're just waiting for the piece to launch. I'm moving the mouse and the ball is moving. Spinning, spinning, spinning. How long should we wait? COM is not responding. Okay. Well, the application failed. Should we send a report to Apple? Okay. No. I'm not going to send a report to Apple because JODI will be reported and then there'll be denied access on the whole interwebs. That's not good. So going back to their Wikipedia. Also their social media. I don't know if they... Are they on Instagram? Are they on Twitter? There's a lot of JODIs on Twitter, but I'm not sure if it's them. JODI net.art Twitter. JODI makes art online, but don't call them net artists. Yeah, so they always seem to make it hard to find them. As far as I know, most net artists are actually very eager to be found, but they do whatever they can to stay out of the picture. So if I search JODI Wiki, then the JODI film shows up. Untitled game, a CD-ROM. Let's see if this one works. Oh, it actually works in the browser. Does it? It's a download for Mac OS 9. So, too bad. We need an older computer. That's not gonna work. JODI Untitled game. Well, there's the untitled game. So it's not possible to run the software here. We can see a video. The video is only 240p resolution, so that's not much of a documentation. Seems to be a documentation of a lecture, and we see black and white patterns moving around on the screen and someone playing the computer right here. So that's the remnants of this work at this moment. Okay, so that was like 7 works worked and 2 works didn't. Max Payne cheats. Cheats on built-in functions of the video game Max Payne. Okay, so the video game character seem to be running up the stairs, and they run into the corner and get stuck and then go back. We keep seeing different characters. I'm not sure if this video was edited or if the game is in a loop. The only way we would know for sure is to actually see the console or the game running. This is a video. I love making this video because I've never seen these works before. JODI is just kind of a thing that you know they exist and you don't even have to see all the works. You just know that what they're about. But it's good to see everything.
Ahead. Roger that.
Negative on 4.
Okay, can you repeat the plate number?
Okay, Max Payne cheats. That was Max Payne cheats. It's interesting to me if technological and media and net-related art gets so geeky and specialized that maybe only the artists themselves know what's actually happening. It's a bit like science. At some point people get so specialized that you can't even talk to your colleagues because everybody's in another corner. So I've never played Max Payne, so I don't know all the references there. And I don't know if they were hacking the game or if they were playing with it and recording the video. Very little explanation. So we just enjoy what we see. But it seems to work just fine. A web archive. Compositeclub.cc. Various clips from PlayStation 2 games. Like iToy. Okay, so we see a number of discs. And this seems to be a regular web directory. Let me see if it's really the straight web directory of the... It's a fake. They've emulated a web server interface, but it's a fake in the sense that it's not just Apache or whatever server software running. They've recreated it in HTML.
Cheer and stop!
Okay, so I believe they're playing movies as input for the webcam for video games. So these are webcam based video games, and then they use movies as the player. And they recorded that and published it on the web. I remember seeing these in, I think 2003. They had a show at iBeam. First time I met them, we didn't talk much. So we see different movies inside the visual webcam based games. I'm not sure which. I saw Blade Runner.
Frame.
Okay. Well, it works. It's video documentation, so should be fine. Tatata.cn. Okay, so this is a website where
Text edit. About text edit. Preferences. Services. Chinese text converter. Disk util.
that's a website where they use a speech software to pronounce all the options on text edit. So text edit has a text to speech function, and then they use text edit to explain the functions of the software itself. And that's .cn. Is .cn a China domain? Yeah, it's running fine. ZYX, that's an app they made, which we can play on the iPhone, but I can't record that on the screen right now. But I have it on my phone, it works. These are the screens. Audio swap redirects to a YouTube channel showing videos of internet themed songs recorded onto vinyl. Okay. Coda Blues. I started programming at an early age. My mama told me someday I'll meet Bill Gates, and that's where my troubles got started. That's how it all began. And now I sit here singing about my code. Very interesting. I saw these works in an exhibition and I didn't put on the headphones, and then it's funny how little I look at stuff. I'm just oblivious, but it's really nice going through it all now. x20xx.com. We're looking at a blurry web page. This looks like the earlier website they made where you see unlegible text and you check the source code and it's a diagram of a bomb, but I don't see the bomb now. Is this an image or is this is blurry text? Let's look at the source code. Seems there's a number of images. I don't see where the text is. No, there's an iframe. Okay, so this is the iframe with the text. Yeah, here's the different guns. So you have to search a little deeper. All kinds of guns. I mean, the interesting question for me is this sort of geeky stuff, how many people get to it? And even if it's important, or you can experience it without knowing. And there's so much to this work that I don't know because I'm not coding myself. And how many people really do understand? So what we have here is a number of web pages with formal explorations of the browser, using the browser as a pictorial space and testing the limits. We see a number of squares moving in a direction, and I can scroll. It's not responding to the mouse movements unless I scroll. And the JavaScript is scrolling the page itself a little bit, so sometimes I'm scrolling, sometimes the JavaScript is. This is a QR code, so I'm sure I should photograph it, but that's not going to help us now. More squares moving. I want to see a little bit. This is the code of the page. So there's some math going on, and the elements are moved by the code, and there's some gradient code. It's quite embarrassing how little I know. I mean, this video is not about me, it's about JODI, but the interesting thing for me is how many people do know what's actually going on. I think it's really easy to understand with a painting. No, it's actually not that easy. It's just as difficult to understand how it's made. So I guess it's the same. You don't know how the problems of an airbrush artist and what that entails. So I guess it's the same. Or a tattoo artist, or a graffiti artist, or a monochrome painter, or anything. The secrets of the makers. Okay, I'm browsing through the different web pages. This looks like the Pink Floyd record cover. We see a lot of emojis, and they follow the mouse. As you move your mouse, more emojis are added. It's funny that I said emojis because these are app icons. So. Okay, that was x20xx.com. There's a lot more content, but I want to move on to. I think these are all new works. I visited them recently and they told me they were working on this. So they're exploring the limits of the browser. I think it's important to understand, maybe that's the only thing you should really understand, is that these are not videos. And why is that important? It's that an animation is a linear thing, and these are not. They're programmed, and there's a randomness, or there's a behavior. The computer renders the moving image a little different every time. And I think that's important to comprehend. The browser is a little different every time. The end. Okay, well, let's end this website. Goodbye. mboxjodi.org, another web archive, this time containing lists of various files, ordered by file extension. I've never seen this book. So, there's a number of files. It's a long list. It's a very long list. My computer seems to have a problem scrolling because the page is so long. It's still loading part of the page. Now it's okay. And it seems that all the files are clickable. Although my computer's freaking out a bit now. It's a lot to handle. If you see on mouse over, it takes a long time before it gets to the next link. I'm clicking one of the links. I'm getting a little scared now with this page that it'll crash my computer and stop the video. So it seems that every link has the content embedded, and then it expands. So it's actually not linking to another page, so all the content is in this page. Your message has been successfully sent. Okay, so this is a huge page. The source kit code must be substantial. Okay, this is the source code of the page. a lot of classes, a lot of divs. This is the code we use to build the web. Ah, this might be the archive page. Is it? Did I find the archive page? Looks like it. Yeah. This is the archive page. JODI.org/archive. I found it. Was it here all along? How did I get here? Okay, well this was what I was looking for in the beginning. Someone should put this on the Wikipedia. Why don't we do that right now? Edit Wikipedia. Is it already on? No, this archive is not here yet. So I want to add it here to external links. You're not logged in, your IP address will be saved. Save page. CAPTCHA. They want to know whether I am human. These captchas are so hard to read, only a computer could read them. DOME D1URED. Let's see if this works. I seem to have a problem with the captchas. I feel like I'm in a JODI work. Save page. Okay, this doesn't look good yet. Let's make it better. Can I add some text here? Full archive of JODI. Save page. Yeah, there, full archive of JODI. JOID.org. So JOID.org is the archive. These are videos of the app. This is a video they recently made of a foldable screen, and they fold it in all kinds of ways. Video. I thought this was the only way to go about looking at JODI and representing them online. That was the question, how do you present their work online? And then I thought the best way would be to surf, so I hope this is interesting. Maybe the best thing to do is surf yourself, but here's the wrong browser. And they linked it to a Russian website. JODI on Vimeo. We found JODI on Vimeo. So they do have some social presence. Okay, so now things are becoming easier to navigate. For example, this is the Quake Hacks Untitled Game. I'll turn the sound down a bit. How long have we been recording? 34 minutes already. I wonder if anyone will ever watch this video. So this is the Untitled game, where they opened up a first-person shooter and reduced it to close to abstraction. They've simplified the game. There's no clear players, and it's black and white. There's no textures. This is then playing with a foldable screen. It's interesting to me that they are actually pretty precise with the documentation. I thought they were all about creating a mess, and then things are quite organized. Compression. This is a pre-internet work where they let compressed air fly out of air tanks. Now we see one of the artists right here. This is Dirk. So they're not completely obscure. And these are the children, by the way. And this is Mama, which is the space they're doing a show in January, and why I'm making this video. There's Joan. So Joan and Dirk together are JODI, G-O-D-I. There's Gerben, who is the curator of the upcoming show. Okay, that was compression. Yeah, this was the show at iBeam, with a lot of desktops gone wild. They made videos of playing with the computer on OS 9 on the Mac and just copying a bunch of folders and waiting until it crashes. Let's see if there's a video of that. Vimeo JODI XXX. It's good they didn't get banned for that name. Yeah, this is the... Is it this? No. My desktop. This looks like a new version of my desktop because it's running OS X. Looks like this would have been made in 2005 or 2004. Or maybe even earlier. It's an early version of OS X. I want to see if the OS 9 version is here. No. Maybe I remembered it wrong and it was always OS 10?
Submenu.
View fish 0 zip open HR period.
Then
I am entering find desktop.
Okay. Well, we found the archive. That was kind of what I was looking for, and we found it by browsing. And I hope you can surf for yourself. And I hope this video was not too boring. I'm especially interested what this video will feel like when you see it in 100 years. Okay, I'm ending the recording.